So we're here at Beaulyland, and mysteriously, the garage is open, which is never the case at this magnificent 1912 Arthur B. Benton masterpiece of a house that might be getting a demo permit, so you can actually see inside this very funky concrete garage. I don't see any relics of the old days, although it is, wow, it's a pretty serious construction. And then it's a little wet in here, but that's okay. Then, most interestingly, here's the stair. Here's the name Beaulyland. What I don't see anywhere at all is a demo application permit. So perhaps it's not too late to save this really special house. I think all we want to have happen is for the Cultural Heritage Commission to have a hearing about it and see if they agree that simply pulling a permit to do some work, calling it a remodel, it's actually a demolition, and wanting to do that. Is that really how the Cultural Heritage Commission is supposed to work? Do they really wash their hands of anything when development's involved? Or, with Marilyn Monroe's house, they treated it differently. Why is Westlake any different than Brentwood? It's a good question. And I want to thank Mike Callahan for doing so much work to think about it. My dream for Beaulyland? Oh, were you wondering? Okay, so it was a house, then it was apartments, then it was a house again. Now they want to tear it down. What if it became apartments again and a bunch of people lived here in one of those beautiful buildings in Los Angeles? It's better than tearing it down. Coming to you from Coronado, where among other things, we're going to talk about Charles Bukowski living in a bungalow court and getting into all kinds of trouble. I think he was a very bad neighbor, and the people in Beaulyland did not appreciate living next to Charles Bukowski. But he's a lot more fun just to remember as a character in the past. And our friends who are drilling holes in the street, they love old LA and beautiful buildings too. Who doesn't? Bye. Let's save this place. Cultural Heritage Commission, have a hearing. Let's go. Let's talk about it. Look at this. You want this to be blood on your hands? I don't want to be blood on my hands. The ghosts of Scottish people will follow you around forever. And Scottish people are kind of tough. Bukowski might haunt you too. Oh, look at this. Whee! Oh, hi, Richard.
This has really grown a lot in the last 6 months.
But yeah, I know. The last time we were here, this was a lovely spot on a tour.
It is a lovely
Stand
spot.
under here.
Grown a lot.
All right. We're going to be here on Saturday. It's a Bukowski tour. Why don't you come on the Bukowski tour? We'll show you Beaulyland. As far as I'm concerned, it's still standing. And look, new windows. There's a bunch of cool old abandoned bricks someone put here. And new windows in the bungalow court. Big trees. We bring the water. You're going to love it. We bring the water. And at the end of the block, and salted peanuts. I got to show them. Look, we have lions, of course. Lions are important.
We're on Coronado.
Coronado. Nice big Australian trees. So we've got a Scottish house, Australian trees, Spanish colonial revival, triple level bungalow type housing. But at the end of the block, you're not going to believe it. A couple cool things. We got this dingbat, South Coronado, with new windows. We got this crazy pink thing. We don't come this far on the tour. This is just a little farther than we normally go, because at this point in the tour, Bukowski's over at General Hospital. He's been told by the surgeon that if he keeps drinking, he's going to die. Hello, doggy. Look at these pretty little bungalows. If he keeps drinking, he's going to die of a bleeding ulcer. And Bukowski says something along the lines of, yeah, doc, you can take your scalpel and shove it where the sun don't shine. And then he comes home to the bungalow court and he says to himself, oh, more craftsman houses. He says to himself, well, doctor's probably right. Probably am going to die. It would be an awful shame if I died and I'd never actually written a poem in my entire life that I was proud of. Maybe I should start writing poems. Ooh, persimmon season. Stucco Man has been here, but the Stucco Man has not been there. That's a really grand craftsman bungalow. It's a bit of a long walk. We've got these interesting apartments that seem rather well kept. More persimmons. It is definitely persimmon season, but at the end of the block, if you walk far enough and you know where you're going, ooh, guavas too. Nice. You eventually come to, look at that, an Egyptian revival apartment house. And that means maybe you'll be haunted by ancient Egyptians too, if you don't say Beaulyland. So, did you see those guavas? They look great. There's the Grenoble Apartments, that's French. So this is really, it is. This is multicultural Los Angeles. You got MS3 and 18th Street crossed out over there. Sorry, MS13. Gotta learn to read. See, it's multicultural Los Angeles. You got some nice brickwork and a little sweet grotto. Oh, I love me a grotto. And then we end it right here at 2nd and Carondelet. No, 2nd and Coronado. Why do I keep saying that? An Egyptian revival apartment house. And what a beauty it is. And they've got their original windows. I know. Oh, heroes, my heroes. So, this is Bukowski Street. Beaulyland's at the end. Egyptian revival at this end. UPS guys here. There's a lot of fruit hanging over the sidewalk. Richard's walking past the Grenoble Apartments, and we're gonna say goodbye. That's in France. Let's save some landmarks, guys. We don't have to tear everything down. It's silly.